Welcome back to Cubbyhole Conversations. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to talk about tonight. It is 6:07 p.m. and I'm supposed to have my video up and loaded at 8 o'clock for going live to you all. So I usually try to shoot these at some point during the week or at least Sunday morning when I'm, kind of fresh after my walk with the dog or whatever. And today just kind of got away from me. It was just one of those days where things just I was trying to have a relaxing day and then it kind of went south. And anyway, I don't really know what I'm going to talk about tonight. One thing that is on my mind right now, because it's just been on my mind today, is that yesterday we had a lot of fun. I'm going to post a video about that on Wednesday. But yesterday we had a lot of fun and we did go out to eat, which we don't do a whole lot. And so it kind of makes it extra special, especially when we go to places that I really enjoy. And, we spent like $50 on brunch, I guess I would call it. And, it's like $50. Holy cow, so much money to go out to eat anymore, which is the main reason we don't do it. It's super expensive. And so, we split some things and then it was $50 for the three of us. So anyway, so then was going through emails this morning. I was just trying to clear out my email and look at old stuff and get rid of stuff and like, why do I still have this email type of thing? And one of the emails was from my World Vision rep, Emily, and she was just saying, hey, I want to make sure that you are ready for that they were doing like a special fundraiser for water in Zambia. And I didn't get her. I mean, I got her email, but I didn't read her email till today. The Zambia thing was on Thursday, I think it was. I did do it. I did watch it, but in the email, she also had it said, hey, I noticed that you gave to the hunger relief. And so I wanted to send this article to you. So I, for the first time in a long time, posted something on Facebook beyond just like a meme or something, right? Like, I don't do a ton of posting on Facebook. I'm not a huge fan of Facebook anymore. So I posted though, and I posted just my story in relation to the hunger crisis, and I included the article. It doesn't look like a lot of people have read it or commented on it. One person did like it or whatever, but I just felt led to share it because I feel like we often will spend money on like special things like going out to eat for ourselves, not realizing just really how drastic the problem is worldwide and how much this pandemic really has affected people around the world who aren't dying from the pandemic directly. Like, they're not dying from getting COVID. They're dying because their livelihoods have been taken away, or they can't get medical care because there's so many COVID cases. Like, this article was talking about how in Peru's economy was starting to come up. Like, they'd been working hard to really raise things and raise the bar on living there. And then the pandemic hit, and basically because so much of their livelihood is not something you can do remotely, it's physical, right? It's something you've got to actually be there to do. So one guy was in construction, or one person was in college getting their learning electronical engineering. Those aren't things that you can really do remotely. You need hands-on for that. And so all these people that were at the poverty level had worked for years and started businesses and all this stuff, and they'd gotten up to middle class, and then the pandemic hit, and all those jobs just, you can't do them. You're not allowed to be out of your house, right? So lockdown. Well, they don't have government systems in place to really feed those people, support all those people, and those people didn't have reserves because they literally had just built themselves up from poverty into the position of middle class, and now they're back in poverty, and everybody who was in poverty is now below poverty. And anyway, it's really a bad situation, and I don't think we should be. I'm not a person who's like, well, we should suffer because all those people suffer. I don't believe that. I believe we've been blessed, and we need to be appreciative of that. Sorry, and we need to bless others in that capacity. I'm a little tired today, so my challenge to everybody who actually takes the time to read the article and actually takes the time to read what I said, is that take your last eating out receipt, and whatever that amount is, donate it to a charity that is feeding the hungry. So, or you could, I didn't mention this in my Facebook post, but you could just take that money and buy food and donate it to a food bank, or donate it to a shelter, or give to some homeless person. I do not give cash to homeless people. I give food. But that's on you. That's up to you, and whatever, but whichever way you want to do it. But my point was just like, take your last eating out receipt. And if it's $8.75, then take that $8.75 and match it to feed someone else. In World Vision right now, who I was working with, who I do a lot with, they are running, I think there's 3 or 4 different food multi-match situations on their website right now. So you can go on, and it's like 6 times whatever you donate, it's 6 times that amount. And so that helps a lot, because then your money goes a lot farther. So we like doing that. I guess I just feel like my mom and I talk about this a lot. Actually, we talk about how there's so much need, and there's so much need, and I'm only one person. And I feel like that's so true. And kind of my top triggers, especially like my top trigger points, especially with World Vision, are I do world hunger issues for sure. I've seen it live. I've been in Africa, I've seen those situations. Hunger, water is a huge one for me, because water can bring so much life. So with clean water, they now don't get sick because they're not drinking unclean water. Like the diseases, if you've never looked into this, the diseases that are waterborne that are going through these countries around the world are it's disgusting. Like, we would never tolerate that here in our society, and they have no choice. Like, they're getting pond water from the same place that all the animals are defecating. It's disgusting, right? And of course they're getting sick, but they have to have water of some kind, and that's all they've got. So water is a huge one. So they not only don't get sick anymore, but they're able to learn how to wash their hands correctly and clean their houses correctly, meaning at all. And they're able to then also be hydrated enough. And then they're able to water gardens and actually have enough water to grow food for their family. And in some situations, they're even growing enough food to be able to sell to other people and make a profit and grow and get ahead. So water to me is another big one. Education is another big one. Education, without education, where would this country be, right? Like we are so education, whether that is formal education in the form of going to a school and then going to a high school and then going to a college, that kind of formal education, or whether that is hands-on education where you're going to a facility and learning how to work on cars, or whether you're doing an apprenticeship with someone else. We are big on education in our country because we believe that education works, right? We see the results of education working. And so education is a big one for me. And then the final one, that's my fourth big trigger topic when it comes to charity, is sex trafficking. And so I have a huge heart for that, and it seems overwhelming and daunting and hard to see results on a global scale, but I cannot look away and deny that it's happening, and I cannot look away and not do something about it. So those are kind of my big four, and I tend to kind of bounce between them depending on what's greatest in my heart at the time. So that's where I'm at with that. And I guess, I don't really have a point with this particular Cubbyhole conversation except to say, find what you're drawn to and give back. Whether that's your time. I don't have really a lot of time to go work at a soup kitchen, or I don't have a lot of time to, to me, it's a big commitment. I don't like making commitments and not being able to follow through. So I just don't feel like I'm able to do that right now. But this is what I do, right? I share stories. I share information. I try to convince other people that this is a good idea. Like, our nieces just went to Mexico and did a missions trip for a week, and I wasn't able to go. I can't go on that trip. I mean, I could have, I suppose, if all the things fell into place, but I don't go to that church, and I don't, I got to be here for my kid in our house and all the stuff that I do here. So I wasn't going on the trip, but I'm able to pray. I'm able to give money toward it and help in that way. So just get involved, figure out where your heart is, what your passion is, what your calling is, what you feel drawn to. And what are some of the triggers that fire you up, right? When I hear about people getting sick because they don't have clean water, it disgusts me. It makes me like, we have got to do something. People in today's day and age should not have dirty water. Like, there are people who have to carry their own jerry can, they call it, but their own jugs of water to go deliver their baby. Like, that's the only water. The hospital has no water. That's the water they take to the clinic to deliver their baby, whatever they can carry. That's just, it is 2021, people. This should not be happening still. And so whatever fires up in you like that, find a charity, get involved. That's my word for this week, I guess. Take care. See you next time.